Welcome to Network Configuration. So in this section, we have some really cool tips and tricks to enumerate network processes, kill processes by network activity, honing in on specific user network connectivity, and a bunch of other IP manipulation techniques. Before I jump in, I did want to mention there are a ton of different IP manipulation techniques in this section. How to set static IP addresses, assigning multiple IP addresses to the same network interface card. These are all things that will definitely come in handy setting up an attack station, or even on a specific red team assessment if you need to set a specific route on a customer device or change its IP address. Definitely jump to this section. And honestly, the RTFM does a great job showing you exactly what to type to set those IPs. So in this video, I'm going to cover a lot of the really cool techniques, the tips and tricks, but I will pass over some of those IP set commands, as you can just jump into the manual and then type them out for whatever your specific environment is, because the IP addresses, the DNS server IPs, and those subnet masks are all going to be unique to your environment. With that out of the way, let's jump in. So this one's really cool. It's going to list all established and connected TCP sockets every 3 seconds. Again, I want you to be careful running these types of commands through a remote access tool. A lot of times with remote access tools, the minute you hit execute, it just kind of goes hands off. So these persistent ones that just kind of run in the background, they're best run in an SSH session or just in a terminal. So let me maximize it over here. You can see every 3 seconds, it's just going to run this command. You could probably see the time update over here. Yep, just went from 26 to 29. And I have a persistent list of all the different network connections that are currently going on. Let me Control C that. We'll kill it. Bring our window back here. Next, we have netstat tulpn. So this is a really awesome netstat command that's going to list out processes and then filter it down to ones that you really want to pay attention to. There's other types of UDP connections or other connections that could be connected from the computer. A lot of times those will just blow up your output so much you can't really focus on what's important. So this is just a really good netstats command to run and then to look through and see what's actually going on. And if I actually maximize it like this, you can actually see the program name and the PID that is responsible for listening on the connection, which is pretty cool to quickly identify what programs have active connections going. I really like this one, LSOF, TAC-I, TAC-U. We'll do rogue operator, TAC-A. This is going to list out network connections specific to a user that you specify. So I put in here rogue operator. I went ahead and maximized my window here and it just came back. You can see all the active connections going on by my user rogue operator. So if you very quickly want to refine down, let's say there's an admin logged into the box who just want to see their network connections, you can specify their username and just view their connections. And like I said, these IP set commands are going to be great. There are so many different ways to set static IP addresses. You can do it with ifconfig, IP add or add. Same with adding a second IP to an existing interface. A lot of awesome options here, including your route add commands as well. If you need to add any routes statically, manually, this is a really good cheat sheet to get you through it. I'm not going to bother changing the MTU, but it's extremely easy to do this. If you have any really weird VPN situations where your system is VPNing, or even if you're doing any type of virtualization, sometimes you have to run this command. I know when I was building out some of the Rogue Arena stuff, I had to specify a specific MTU size because the IP packets were being encapsulated by a protocol higher up. So I actually had to tell it, hey, you're a specific size down here. That way it could be encapsulated and everything works successfully. I don't have Wi-Fi on this machine, but this would be another great command to run just to show other SSIDs in the area. Varlog messages is not active on this Kali machine, but if you wanted to check DHCP assignments, that's a great command. TCP kill is actually pretty cool. It crafts a reset packet and then forces it into the connection to break an established connection if it's already going on. So if you have an established connection, you can run this to try to DOS that connection. Immediately, I kind of think through, okay, on a red team assessment, if you're trying to have some type of effect on a target, with the customer's permission, you may run this every now and then to DOS admin connections to cause them to log in and investigate what the problem could be. If you're doing any type of port forwarding, this is a great one that you're gonna be using all the time. Echoing one into proc sysnet IPv forward, not very difficult to do, literally copy paste it, it turns it on, all is good. This is kind of a shorthand way to add a new DNS server. Typically, I'll do a nano etsy resolve conf, and then I'll just add it here. But you can follow the RTFM and just do an echo, and then it'll just append it to this file. That way you're not actually going into Nano. Again, sometimes you have a really bad shell on a Linux machine and you can't bring up Nano. Maybe all you can do is just echo into the file. So that is a great option for you. That wraps up our network configuration section. I hope you enjoyed the quick look through all these different commands. Again, if you need to do any type of IP manipulation, jump in here. We give you both the IP add syntax and the older ifconfig, which is awesome. I've definitely been in situations where only one of those would work.